Hello, hello, and welcome to Exotic Wine Travel. I'm your host, Matthew Horkey. So, it might be a little loud here because we're at the Salon Vina at Kragujevać. Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah.
Lots of great wines from the Balkans, mostly Serbian, a couple Macedonian wines, one Italian wine, Croatian wine, Slovenian, one from Montenegro. And I am happy because here I have a guy whose website I've been following for actually the last couple years. So here I have Dusan Jelic from the website Wines of Balkans. So thank you for being on the show. Can you tell me about what Wines of Balkans is?
Thank you for the lovely introduction, and I'm so happy to have the opportunity to tell you a few words about my project. In a nutshell, Wines of Balkans is a website that is supported by some 15-20 accounts on social media on all major networks such as Twitter, Facebook, Google+, Pinterest, and Instagram. And my idea is to follow in real time everything that happens in 12 countries I cover from Hungary to Turkey. And everything important from my point of view I would share. So I share a lot of content that appears daily, as well as create my own content that actually is supposed to celebrate the best thing connected with the Balkan wines and in the recent times with the Balkan wine tourism.
That's awesome. I mean, I think this whole area has a lot of potential for tourism. Now, you're Serbian, correct? Can you talk, because we've been spending the last 3 weeks in Serbia, about Serbian wines, where they stand and their potential?
It is interesting that Serbia has a long history regarding wine, and we can trace it back to the Roman times. During the Ottoman Empire, due to the religious and other reasons, the winemaking was not so developed. Then we had different phases of history, and the latest one was a period of half a century of communism, when actually the state was producing huge quantities of pretty mediocre wines. However, during the late 80s, 90s, when communism died, and when we have a new system, and we had unfortunately a couple of wars and other things, we actually have a big change. So instead of having the big social enterprises producing huge quantities of wines, suddenly dozens, literally hundreds of small wineries appeared, and you have a quality, you have a small quantities, you have a lot of different wines, a lot of different wineries that are able to compete even with the best wine producers in the region and in the Europe.
I agree, and I love that Serbia is about a bunch of small producers producing high quality wine. What do you think Serbia has to do to get itself on the world stage?
Well, this is a really brilliant question, $1 million question, as they say, because the best way to attract tourism is actually to offer something that is yours, that is indigenous, autochthonous, that you can offer. Serbia has a lot of food that can offer to the tourists, and also we have two very important indigenous variety called Prokupac and also Tamjanika, which is actually domesticated variety, part of the Muscat, the Frontignan family. And also people would like to taste unique tastes of food and wine in Serbia, and also they would like to enjoy the food and wine in the original setting. And we have a lot of spas, approximately 70. We have a couple of mountains resources, and also we have a lot of facilities such as restaurants and hotels. So the only thing is actually to get the proper management in those institutions, and also to promote not only Belgrade, which is already important on a World Tourism Organization maps, but also to promote vigorously Serbian countryside. And what you are doing actually, crossing Serbian countryside, talking with people, checking, is a message that is very powerful, and I'm commending you for doing that. And also the Serbian Tourism Organization and other institutions must follow your example. They must go inside, visit small places, pick up the best things to show from the small cities, and that also should be connected with the wine. You visited Župa region.
Yes.
You know that Prokupac is the most important red variety in Tamjanika white. You felt the immense hospitality of the people who are every time ready to open up the door of their homes to talk to you and to offer you everything they got. So this message that you actually saw with your own eyes should be communicated more vigorously through some institutions, and that will attract people that would like to do skiing or going to spa, and then Adriatic Sea is not so far away. So what we need actually, to cut long story short, is a better, more coherent tourism strategy, a master plan that will bring people from outside to experience food and wine they actually never had a chance to taste before.
and I'm going to put a plug in for Serbia, and I'm not getting anything for this, but I'm just saying the enotourism here is unique because it's experiences that you hear about happen 20, 30 years ago with very unique food, unique and delicious food. And the Serbian wines are excellent, not just for Serbia, they can compete on the world stage. But your site is, and your company is Wines of Balkans. So can you talk about, just briefly, the potential of wine in the Balkans as a whole?
This is another great question. Actually, to explore this subject further, I have to tell you that out of 12 countries that I consider Balkans, I include Hungary, which is not geographically or politically in the Balkans, but I love Hungarian wine.
Yeah.
You have a countries such as Slovenia and Croatia that believes that word Balkan is connecting them with something that they don't belong to. They would like to feel that they are part of Europe. It's not a unanimous opinion, but then Bulgaria and Serbia and Macedonia have no problems in pronouncing themselves as the Balkans, because you have to understand that the word Balkan is a brand. But most of educated Western people, when they hear the word Balkan, they think about the wars, disintegration, assassination of the Austro-Hungarian Ferdinand. So I believe that if something is already a brand, like the word of Balkan, even if it has certain negative connotations, we have to connect it with the wine. Wine is a beautiful thing. Wine is something for connoisseurs, for wine lovers, for passionate people. You can mix it with the food, you can enjoy it on your own. So my idea was actually to connect wine and the Balkans to create a powerful brand, Wines of Balkans, trying to actually promote the whole region as a whole. So far, it's not a unanimous, because as I told you, Slovenia and Croatia are not always comfortable with that. But I believe that regarding the rest of the world, we have the winemakers or wineries from those 12 countries. There are more than 2,000 wineries in all. I counted them recently. I think they should promote themselves as under the Balkan brand. You know why? Because the big tour operator from USA, from Japan, from China cannot just spend 20 days in Serbia. But if you offer them 5 days in Hungary, 4 days in Slovenia, 5 days in Croatia, 4 days in Serbia, 4 days in Macedonia, they can automatically be attracted to a beautiful program. They can see sea, rivers, lakes, mountains. They can do skiing. They can so spa. They can see different type of food. They can learn about history. They can have 10, 20 different indigenous varieties of wine. So they can have actually the holidays of the lifetime. So I hope that people realize how important it is to promote Balkan as a whole, as a tourist destination. And as much as my attempt is very individual, almost like a crazy attempt, because for the 5 years I'm not giving up, and I hope the institutions will realize, and at some point I'll get support, because there is no easier or faster way for this region to become top region in the world than to market it as a whole, as the Balkan region, or alternatively you can call it Southeast Europe.
Yeah.
This is a politically correct term.
I love that. And what wines of the countries of the Balkans have you found exciting that are just on the cusp of really breaking through?
Look, I'm Serbian, so obviously I had to acknowledge my bias, and I'll first start with Serbia, because Serbia has a beautiful Prokupac and Tamjanica wine, but also my favorite variety is the Plavac Mali from Dalmatia, a part of Croatia along the Adriatic Sea. Also, they have a gorgeous variety called Pošip. It's a brilliant full-bodied white wine. Then in Slovenia you have a Šipon and a lot of indigenous varieties. In Hungary you have a Furmint and Haš Levelu, and of course famous Tokaj wines. In Bulgaria you have a Gamza and other varieties. In Romania you have a Fetasca Negra, Fetasca Regala. In Macedonia you have a Vranas, which is a Balkan indigenous variety.
And delicious, by the way.
And delicious. Of course, you can find Vranas in Montenegro and Herzegovina, even in Serbia. Then in Turkey, you have a couple of great varieties such as Emir, Narince, Okuzguzu. Exactly. In Greece, you have Malagozia, Xinomavro, Agiorgifiko, and so on.
They're saying don't believe him.
So many Balkan countries can offer unique varieties, unique wine, unique tastes, unique food to match with. And the hospitality of the local people is exactly the same in Turkey, in Albania, in Serbia, in Macedonia, in Hungary, everywhere. So I'm urging the tourists from all over the world to set their eyes on the Balkans and to search ways to explore this beautiful region, and they will not be disappointed because food is extraordinary, wine is extraordinary, people are very hospitable, climate is very pleasant, a lot of lakes, mountains, Adriatic Sea, and it could be, remember my word, experience of the lifetime.
I agree 100%. The hospitality here is unrivaled. It's closing. It's almost closing time of the salon, so we're going to get up there. If it's loud, it's becoming a huge party. Not anymore. So it's not wine tasting. Everybody's emptying out. Dusan, I want to thank you for being on the show. Thank you so much.
Cheers. Thank you so much for the space you gave me. God bless you and see you soon.
I will link his website, Wines of Balkans, in the description box. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Exotic Wine Travel. I'll see you at the next episode.